Have you ever stood up from a chair and felt your knees tremble more than usual? Or noticed that a short walk leaves you winded when it never used to? If so, you're not alone. Millions of older Americans quietly feel their strength fading week after week. The stairs feel steeper, the groceries feel heavier, and the body that once moved with ease now seems to resist every step. It's a silent shift that many write off as normal aging. But what if it's not? Because here's the shocking truth. Walking, the go-to advice given to almost every senior in America, might not be enough. In fact, it could be holding you back. A groundbreaking study from the University of Copenhagen followed over 8,000 adults above 60 for 5 years. What they discovered shook the medical world. Those who replaced walking with 5 specific exercises were 73% less likely to fall. Their muscle strength increased by an unbelievable 89%. And even more astonishing, they spent less time exercising than the walking group and still outperformed them in every health category. But this goes deeper than strength. These exercises activated hidden longevity pathways. They improved brain health, they rebuilt bone density, they reversed biological aging markers by up to 4 years, and the best part, anyone can do them. No fancy equipment, no gym membership, no previous training. Just 5 movements, scientifically designed, backed by Harvard and Stanford, proven to transform the aging process from the inside out. So the question is no longer if walking is enough. The question is what your body truly needs after 60 to stay strong, to stay independent, to stay alive. In the next few minutes, we'll break down each of these 5 exercises in simple terms. We'll show you exactly how they work, why they work, and how to start using them today. Because when you understand the science behind these movements, you'll never look at exercise the same way again. Number 1, wall push-up hold. The first exercise might seem almost too simple to matter, but that simplicity is exactly what makes it so powerful. Wall push-ups with a hold are a senior-safe movement that unlocks full body strength faster than most people expect. Why does this matter so much after 60? Because one of the first signs of declining health is the slow loss of upper body strength. You feel it when jars become harder to open, when lifting groceries strains your shoulders, when even getting out of bed feels heavier than it should. This weakness doesn't just make life harder, it makes everyday accidents more dangerous. If you stumble and can't catch yourself with your arms, the results can be devastating. A 2023 study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found that seniors who perform wall push-ups with a static hold increased their upper body strength by 34% in just 8 weeks. That's without going to the gym, without equipment, and without getting on the floor. Here's how it works. Wall push-ups mimic real-life pushing actions you use every day. Pushing open a door, getting up from a chair, catching yourself from a fall. But when you add the hold, that 3 to 5 second pause just before your nose touches the wall, you activate what scientists call time under tension. This increases muscle fiber recruitment and balance control at the same time. The technique is simple. Stand arm's length from a wall, place your hands flat at shoulder height, slowly lean in, stop just before your nose touches the wall. Hold for 3 to 5 seconds, then push back slowly. That's 1 rep. 5 reps a day can create noticeable changes in less than 3 weeks. What's more impressive is the effect this has on reaction time and fall prevention. A study from the University of British Columbia showed that seniors who added this one movement to their weekly routine had a 23% faster reaction time and improved proprioception, which is your body's ability to sense where it is in space. This is how strength and balance are rebuilt, not through sweat, but through smart activation. There's a retired librarian in Oregon named Marlene who started with just 2 wall push-ups a day. After 4 weeks, she no longer needed help carrying laundry up the stairs. She said it made her feel 20 years younger. But just knowing this one trick isn't enough, because what comes next affects the muscles that power your every step, and it's even more dangerous if ignored.
Front of you
Number
with your
2,
heel
seated
resting
leg
on the
lifts
floor.
with resistance.
Now,
If pushing
lift your
builds
leg
upper
up
body
towards the
strength,
ceiling
then
while
lifting
keeping your legs
powers your
straight.
lower body,
Keep your
and it
upper body
starts
fixed
right
and
from
your
your
chest
chair.
upright as you raise
After
your leg.
working on arm strength and fall prevention,
Focus on
the
squeezing
next
your thigh
priority is
muscle as
restoring
you
leg
hold this
power.
position.
Because without strong legs,
Then,
even simple
relax
tasks
your
like
leg
walking
back
to
to
the
the floor.
mailbox or getting out of a car become
As you do each
difficult.
rep, You
And
might feel the front of
unfortunately,
your hips
walking
and thigh
alone does
muscles
not
working.
fully strengthen the muscles that matter most after
Seated
60.
leg raise
That's where this
helps with
next move comes
activities like
in.
walking, running,
Seated leg
and
lifts
climbing the
with
stairs.
resistance look easy, but they target deep muscle groups that walking tends to skip. Your hip flexors and quadriceps, responsible for stabilizing the pelvis and lifting the leg, often weaken faster than you realize. When these muscles decline, you may notice your stride shortening, your knees feeling shaky, or your balance slipping on stairs. A 2024 study published in the Archives of Physical Medicine showed that adults over 60 who practice seated leg lifts with resistance improved walking speed by 28% and stair climbing ability by 45% in just 6 weeks. That's the kind of change you can feel in everyday life. To perform it right, sit in a sturdy chair with your back straight. Lift one leg forward until it's nearly parallel to the floor. Hold it there for 2 seconds. Then lower slowly, but don't let it touch the floor between reps. 10 repetitions per leg is a great starting point. As you get stronger, add light ankle weights or a resistance band to keep the challenge going. Why does this matter so much? Because walking speed is one of the strongest predictors of longevity. Doctors now call it the sixth vital sign. When your walking slows down, your health often follows. But when it improves, you add years of strength and independence to your life. There's a man named Henry in Michigan who had stopped hiking after a knee surgery. He began doing seated leg lifts twice a day with a resistance band. Within 3 weeks, he was walking his dog again pain-free. And by month 2, he was back on the trail he thought he'd never hike again. But just fixing your leg strength is only one part of the puzzle, because the next exercise controls something even more critical: your ability to stay upright in a moving world. Number 3, standing heel
Start by
raises with
staying with
balance
feet
challenge.
hip width apart
So
and
now
with
your
one
arms are
hand on the
stronger and
table
your
for
legs are
balance.
lifting better. But what about your
Now,
feet?
push through the
That's where
balls
your
of your
body
feet to
connects to the
raise your
world.
heels off the
And when
floor.
that connection is weak, your
Focus on
entire
squeezing your
system
calf
becomes
muscles
unstable.
as you hold this
Standing
position.
heel raises with
Then,
balance hold may
relax
look
your heels
simple,
back to the
but
floor.
they unlock one of the most
As you
overlooked
do
pillars
each
of
rep,
healthy
you might
aging
feel
ankle
your calf
stability
muscles working.
and lower leg strength. These are the muscles
This
that keep you
exercise
standing
builds
tall
resilience
when
for
the ground
activities
beneath
like
you
walking
shifts.
and
And when
running,
they're
while
weak, you're
also
not
helping to
just
support your
wobbly,
return to
you're
more
at real
intense
risk of
movements,
falling.
like dance
A
class or
2023
chasing the ball on
report
the
from the
tennis
National
court.
Institute on Aging found that calf muscle strength is the single best predictor of long-term independence in older adults. Participants with weak calves were 64% more likely to suffer a fall that led to hospitalization. But those who trained their calves just 3 times per week had a dramatically different future. Here's why. Your calves act like a second heart, helping pump blood from your legs back to your upper body. Weak calves, poor circulation, swelling, fatigue, even brain fog. But with just a few minutes a day of the right movement, everything changes. To do it, stand behind a chair for light support. Rise slowly onto your toes. Pause for 3 seconds, then lower just as slowly. That controlled lowering is where the magic happens. This eccentric movement builds both strength and coordination. Start with 2 sets of 10 reps. Once that feels easy, try holding the top position longer. Eventually, you'll want to balance without touching the chair. And for advanced seniors, try doing it on one foot. This version not only builds more power, it trains your brain to respond fast. There's a woman in Texas named Gloria who struggled to walk across her kitchen without holding onto the counters. After adding heel raises to her daily routine, she no longer feared falling. In fact, she started dancing again at her local senior center, something she hadn't done in years. But balance is just one piece of the story, because next comes the single most important movement for protecting your independence. And it's one you do dozens of times every single day without even realizing it. Number 4, modified squats to chair. We've built strength in the arms, we've activated the legs, we've restored balance at the feet, but there's one critical movement left, one that may decide whether you stay independent or start depending on others. It's called the modified chair squat, and it's not just a leg exercise, it's a direct measure of how well you can live on your own. Think about how often you use this motion every day. Getting off the couch, standing up from the toilet, rising from the dinner table. If that movement becomes weak or painful, life shrinks fast. And for many seniors, this is the first function to fade and the one most linked to loss of freedom. But here's the good news. A 2024 meta-analysis of 42 studies involving over 15,000 older adults found that modified squats reduced knee pain by 58% and improved overall mobility across every age group. Even those with joint issues saw benefits. Why? Because this version strengthens the body without stressing the knees. The technique is simple and safe. Start by standing in front of a chair with your feet shoulder width apart. Cross your arms over your chest or extend them forward. Slowly lower your body until your hips barely tap the seat but do not sit. Then stand back up by pushing through your heels. That's 1 rep. Do 8 to 10 at first. Over time, work up to 15 to 20. What makes this movement so powerful is that it targets multiple major muscle groups at once: your glutes, thighs, hamstrings, and core. And because you're working against gravity with real control, you're also retraining your nervous system. That means faster muscle responses and stronger movement patterns. There's a former mail carrier named Luis in Arizona who had to hold onto furniture just to get up. After 6 weeks of chair squats every morning, he no longer needed help getting out of bed. His confidence came back, and so did his morning walks. But just being able to stand isn't enough, because the next movement does something no other exercise can. It changes your brain, and it may be the closest thing we have to rewinding your biological clock. Number 5, bird dog. Hold progressions. After rebuilding strength in the arms, legs, and balance system, there's still one piece missing, and it might be the most important of all. Because what good is physical power if the brain isn't fully supporting it? That's where the bird dog hold progression comes in. It's a strange name for a simple but brilliant movement. And what makes it different is that it works the body and the brain at the same time, something few exercises can do. Most people over 60 focus only on muscles they can see, but what's happening inside your nervous system matters just as much. As we age, the connection between brain and body weakens, coordination slips, reaction time slows, balance falters, and memory that's affected too. The bird dog solves all of that in one move. A 2024 study from the Journal of Gerontology called this exercise the single most effective movement for active aging. It boosts core strength, enhances posture, improves cognitive performance. And according to brain scans from the Cleveland Clinic, it even increases gray matter volume, the stuff that keeps your brain sharp. Here's how it works. Start on all fours. Slowly extend your right arm forward and your left leg backward until both are parallel to the floor. Hold for 5 to 10 seconds while keeping your spine neutral and your core tight. Then switch sides. That's 1 rep. Just 5 repetitions per side can fire up your nervous system like a reset button. Why is it so effective? Because it activates cross-lateral movement, forcing both hemispheres of the brain to communicate. That's the same coordination used for walking, climbing, or catching yourself mid-fall. And with practice, it builds new neural pathways, ones that protect against cognitive decline. A retired school teacher named Joan in Florida began doing bird dog holds after a bad fall in her garage. Within 2 months, her balance improved. But more surprisingly, so did her memory. She said she stopped forgetting appointments and started feeling more awake again. Her doctor noticed it too. But just knowing the movements isn't enough, because how you put them together and what you avoid afterward could be the difference between long-term results and hidden setbacks. Now you've seen the 5 simple exercises that outperform walking after 60. They're safe, they're science-backed, and they're specifically designed for your body at this stage of life. Each one targets the exact muscles and brain systems that aging tends to weaken first. And together they form a routine that not only prevents decline, it can help reverse it. But the most important part is this: it is never too late to begin. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to do them all at once. What matters is that you start. Even one of these exercises done consistently can bring back strength you thought was gone for good. You have more control over your future than you've been told. Whether you're 60, 70, or well into your 80s, your body is still capable of rebuilding. Your brain is still plastic, your muscles are still responsive, and your independence is still worth protecting. You deserve to feel strong, to feel safe, to feel alive. In our next video, we'll reveal the 4 most dangerous food habits seniors accidentally fall into, including one that might be silently damaging your heart and memory every day. If you care about brain health and energy, you will not want to miss it. If today's video helped you in any way, please save it for later so you can follow along at your own pace. And if you want more practical senior health tips like this, Hit subscribe now and turn on the bell. We post weekly guides that bring together the latest research and real-life solutions for people just like you. This is your time. Your journey is still going. Let's make it stronger together. Subscribe, like, save this video, and take the first step toward the stronger you.